Ate my crits.
Hello everyone, my name is Ian, the part-time Dungeon Master, and welcome back to D20 Sundays. As always, like, subscribe, and comment down below of any content you'd like to see in the future. I do mean any. I'm still kind of small at this whole thing, but at the same time, I kind of like the fact that someone at least watches these videos. I want to say about 5 or 6 months ago, Matthew Perkins, he's another D&D content creator here on YouTube. He's got I want to say like 1.3 thousand subscribers more than me. Which, I guess, a lot of people have more subscribers than me, but not important. But he did a video about the first time he TPK'd a group. And it got me to thinking, it's like, Ian, you've wiped like 12 groups in your time as a Dungeon Master, and, well, that's certainly true. But what does it mean to TPK? Well, total party kill, wipe. It's done. The group is dead. But it doesn't mean you're a bad Dungeon Master. No. Far from it. Does not mean that you're a bad Dungeon Master just because you wiped the entire party. It could mean a few other things, but not that you're a bad Dungeon Master. Unless you do it a certain way and it's not very fun for everybody. Yeah. Splitting hairs if we go into that. But it happens. Parties die. Characters die. It happens. We have to get over it and push onwards. Otherwise we just kind of get stuck in this minutiae kind of feeling. This minutia word, I know minutia is a color, I think. I'll have to look that up later. Either way, what do you do? What now? Now that you've wiped out the party, you've killed those miscreant murder hobos, or you actually killed the heroes who were, actually doing really good and heroic things. What do you do now? They're all dead. Oh my god, they're all dead. Well, there's a few choices for you. First is, you have them roll up new characters. And some will agree with that, some won't, because the sting of defeat burns at a player, at their pride. So, the idea of continuing on an adventure with new characters, with you having to now become invested into these newer characters, which, depending on how far along in the campaign or the adventure you are, could be interesting to say the least. But that being said, rolling with new characters and having them pick up where the adventure left off, or maybe like go back a little further and essentially catch up with the heroes to find them dead and having to take up their mantle, that's certainly doable, and some groups have done that, and I've done that myself a few times. The other option you have is also to just kind of put the adventure on hold and say, hey, we're going to stop playing this adventure for a bit because we TPK'd. We'll come back to it later. For now, we're just going to put it up right here. Right here. With all these other ones that never got finished because they were shelved because the group died. But that being said, sometimes running up and doing a new adventure is what the party needs, because it helps them get over that defeat that they had, and maybe they will come back to that old adventure and try and complete it as, say, new heroes, and try and do better than they did. Then there's the third option, which I've used a couple of times, but I've not seen it used very much, in which the heroes are captured. Essentially, whatever defeated them just captures them instead of killing them, strips them of their gear, throws them in a prison, and says, fuck you. I've only seen that 1 or 2 times, but it has happened in, certain campaigns where killing off all the players and all the characters would hurt the story because of how invested they were into the story and how much they've made the story their own and not just whatever was written in the book or what was planned out by the Dungeon Master. So, they would have the essential players, or actually just all of the players, kidnapped, or rather, captured by the villains and, put into a dungeon, stripped of their gear. Now they have a new adventure inside of a prison where they have to essentially break out by getting their own gear back, or maybe getting new gear. You never know. Prison's a very fun place. That's what I've heard. Exploding toilets. Sorry, thinking of a prison escape game that I played where the wizard decided that he was going to make all of the toilets explode inside the building. It was a dark day. That being said, you as the Dungeon Master, when you TPK a group, have those choices. Do you A, wipe the party, roll up new ones, B, shelve the adventure and hope that you get back to it, or C, maybe twist the adventure a little bit to where the villain captures them instead of just flat out killing them. Perhaps he has some other dark purpose for them later on, and he intends to torture them slowly, one by one, to truly sow into them how powerful he is. That's also something you always have to be careful with, how powerful your villains are and how well they show their power, because otherwise, well, it's just gonna piss the players off more than anything. Nonetheless, thank you for joining us here on D20 Sundays. Ooh, before we go, there is something I wanted to talk to you about. You see, D20 Sundays is something that I have kind of held very dear to me, especially the naming of D20 Sundays, because, to me, some people go to church, some people play Dungeons & Dragons, some people do both on Sundays. And the idea of playing Dungeons & Dragons on Sundays was always such a fun idea to me, because that's kind of what I do on Sundays. It became D20 Sundays. And just the phrase itself kind of resonates with me, and I don't really want to give that up. But at the same time, would you guys like it if I do more content, either D&D or non-D&D related, throughout the week? And if it is more D&D related content, should I stop doing D20 Sundays and just kind of do a D&D video whenever it strikes me? And that's kind of my question towards you guys, and I won't know the answer until you guys tell me down in the comments. So, as always, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see in the future. Anyways, this is Ian, the part-time Dungeon Master. Laters.